The assignment today, I got to shoot some jewelry for a client. It's going to go into a contest. These are all one of a kind, handmade jewelry, and we're going to see what we can do with them to make them work. This is very difficult kind of shooting to do. I've got to eliminate as much of the shadow underneath of them as possible, and they're also quite small, as you can see from the fact that they're sitting on a piece of board on a chair here. So they're very small and they're very intricate, so it's going to take some kind of funky light. We'll see what we can do. What we've done is we put a tent around them, and I'll show you that in just a second, but I want to show you those distinct shadows. Those shadows can be confusing. I have my skylight open. I'm going to close the skylight and come back and show you what I'm talking about, because it looks like we have hard shadows here, but we don't. We don't have any shadows that can be seen with any kind of visibility. It's a very, very bright set. We're going to make it brighter. So let me show you how I turn those off, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the set we've got created here. Got a shower curtain doubled. They're very small. I have to get the light in very close, and I need to have light that I can get down low enough to shoot it, and at an aperture that I need to do. So that's what we're doing there. Now that's the skylight up there. And with this little switch right here, we're going to close that bad boy. There we go. Well, as you can see, that hard shadow is gone because that was actually being created by the skylight. I've got soft shadows around them, and I'm going to have to work to get those out. But I do have a nice highlight across the top of them. We're going to do a shot in just a minute, but I know I need some fill from the front and some very tight fill to the sides. So that's where we are now. Well, we're kind of old school here. Got the old Norman hooked up. I think this little head's going to do just fine for us. I come down into here. You can see I've got the Canon hooked up here, up tethered to the little Mac. And I love this 60D. It's got that window that pops out. Man, that's just absolutely cool when you're doing a shot like this. So this is what we're doing now. We haven't added any fill to it, so we're going to see what our exposure is like. Okay, I'm going to show you what's kind of cool about this 60D, if I can do it with one hand. Come back into the camera here. I want to compose, instead of getting up on a chair, I can actually compose the shot right here on that swing out video. Turn it off and make the shot. So there's our little jewelry guys down there. We haven't added our fill cards yet, but we want to see how good our exposure is going to come in. So waiting here. Here we go. Yeah, exposure looks pretty good. Nice tight. One of the important things about this shot is it has to be tight enough to fit in a small area without bumping into each other, a small area on the layout. And I've got some nice curves and edges that are happening on those little, she calls them the hair, the little frilly things coming out of the top. Got some good light there. I can't lose those highlights. And the shadows look manageable, so I'm going to take them and see if I can do something else with the shadows. Well, here's our shot at this point. We've got a little black card over there. I don't know if you can see what it's doing. I'll show you in the Photoshop example that follows. And that card is putting a little dark edge on that last little strand that you can see right over there on the right side, or left side of the piece of jewelry. Got a white card up front, cut out for the camera. Turns out I didn't need to have it cut out that much, but it was ready anyway. And of course, the space is nice. Let's take a look at the final image. Down on here, and the image looks good. The card, of course, will be cropped out. I needed to get it in that close so that it would do its thing. So I'm going to change up real quick. Okay, and you can see there's no shadows that I can't deal with in Photoshop. And we've got some nice, beautiful highlights. And none of the strands of the green are gone, of the little hair things are gone. I'm going to open up the skylight a little bit here so you can see the setup. Very simple. Very simple. Makes nice light though. Angle of incidence, angle of reflection. Camera is up here. The reflection on the top of the bead was going pure white in the back, too bright to give me any color, so I added a little black card just to give me some shape and some color to the top of that bead. Remember, shiny surfaces, efficient surfaces, will reflect everything that's around them. So we've surrounded it with white and a dark color to bring out the texture and the color of that bead.